The following program is paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Fresno on 105.9 The FM KMJ. Now, live in studio, your host, local real estate expert, Craig Barton.
Good morning, Central Valley. I'm your host, Craig Barton, and welcome to the Real Estate Radio Network, the most important hour of radio each week, here on 105.9, the FM KMJ. Real Estate Radio is a show dedicated to bringing some rational thought to the crazy world that we live in and helping you to rebuild the Central Valley's housing and credit markets. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted advice, and that's exactly what you are going to hear every Sunday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on 105.9, the FM KMJ. What's that goofy look on your face for?
I just realized my microphone was way across the room. I was busy. I was putting my headset on.
Excuse me, can I have that mic over here,
excuse
please?
Me. Hello.
It's kind of a little prerequisite. So how you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm great.
Are you?
A little cold, but I'm great.
A little chilly.
Beautiful. Beautiful outside.
It's been a little chilly, plus 12 degrees.
Yeah, freezing everything around us. I don't like that part, but, otherwise I'm good.
Not a happy time for all the citrus farmers here in the Central Valley.
No, not at all.
Yeah, challenging to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Starts fans, gets warm, fires going.
Yeah, I live with a heat miser, too. She keeps it at a consistent 65 degrees.
Does she dress like an Eskimo in the house,
pretty
or
much.
what?
She's my little blonde Eskimo.
That's funny.
As always, it's so good to have my special guest host, Michelle Pettis-Cavalli, here in the studio with us. Michelle is a real estate professional with Valley-Wide Homes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you. Well, as always, the Real Estate Radio Network gives us the opportunity to reach so many people efficiently for one full hour each and every week. Our goal at the Real Estate Radio Network is to get you, our listeners, the timely and accurate truth about your local real estate market so we can help bring you
back home.
You were chomping at the bit on that one, weren't you?
Hey, I'm trying to be prepared because the last 2 weeks you've made fun of me for not being prepared.
You were looking ahead and all that other good stuff.
I haven't been on my ADD. No, I'm teasing.
You
made fun of me last week with my ADD medication. Bling, and I'm gone.
Atta girl. Squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta love it. Well, let's take a look at some of the topics that we're going to cover in today's show. Well, did you know that there's good news about the real estate market, that home equity is actually growing again? I'd kind of expect
Can I sing a little hallelujah?
Yeah, exactly.
For my folks out there.
And that the housing market is really a sweet spot for the economy as we rebound and continue to rebound into 2013. Also, did you know that home prices are poised for extreme growth?
I feel like a rainbow spray paint morning is about to happen here. Like it's all really good news.
It is imminent.
Imminent, great news.
We're also going to tell you, now here's the meat and potatoes of the show today. We're also going to tell you everything that you need to know about buying a HUD home. What is a HUD home? Who can buy a HUD home? And how can you buy one? We have real estate professional and a local listing broker expert, Sal Hernandez from Valley-Wide Homes here in the studio with us.
Good morning. Thanks
for having
Sal.
Me. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
He and Johnny coordinated.
Yeah,
they both got purple on today. What's that about? I told them I look like death swarmed over, and they're all bright and cheery in their purple.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Yeah, we both have black
we're
on.
both wearing black.
Oh.
Whose funerals?
No one called me about the purple shirt. I have
it's
one.
It's a great time right now, so...
For the purple shirt?
Market, houses selling really fast. We're here.
He's ignoring my purple contact. All right, moving right along.
Dress for success. All right, on that note.
Dress for success.
Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Sal, Michelle, and myself share with you here on the show, it all starts with one phone call. We'd love to hear from you. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. You can also check out our resources online. Go to our website, search for your new home. See all of our listings, including those HUD homes that we're going to tell you about, at REOFresnoHomes.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 Keywords.
Friend Valley-Wide on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 Keywords.
KMJ, call Valley-Wide.
To call into us anytime, even after the show. Michelle is writing notes, and they're not very flattering.
It said Barney, Johnny.
Just calling it purple.
You look like Barney, both of you. I love you. You love... Okay.
It's taking a nasty turn. Okay, back on the tracks.
All
Good.
right. Where's my meds? No.
Let's take a look at today's hot property. Today's hot property is brought to you by Perfect Inspections. Whether it's a residential, multifamily, or commercial inspection, use press for keywords Perfect Home Inspections or call Jerry Schooley today for your perfect home inspection at 352-6941. Again, that's 352-6941. Well, today's property is a HUD home, ironically enough, at 4527 East Edna Avenue, Fresno, California, 93725. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,485 square foot home built in 2008. This property is eligible for FHA financing. All this, 1,485 square feet for $115,000.
Yeah, I have to interject here.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Why?
This was a hot property recently.
Yeah.
It hasn't moved, and that's shocking. So tell me a little more. Do we need to put some money into this property? I mean, is it a property, one of my buyers who wants to play a little bit?
It's a property that can be financed by an FHA buyer.
Okay. Is it one that we can go in and play and do some updating
You can go in and do some new carpet, a little bit of paint, and it's livable.
So it's a good fixer-upper type home, possibly?
You know what? I wouldn't consider it a fixer-upper.
No? Okay.
It's relatively new, and shows pretty well, really.
All right.
Yes, this is a home that'd be great for a first-time owner.
And it's already been appraised, is why I slow y'all down and be a little nosy here, because it's appraised at $115,000, which is a great price. A great price
for almost brand new home.
Yeah.
So if I'm roughing it and I'm going FHA at 3.5% down, rates are what, 3%, 4% right now?
3.25% roughly.
So what's the payment on that?
APR,
I mean, really, when we think about it, we're going to put down
it's under $1,000.
Under $1,000
Cheaper
with
than
your
rent.
taxes, your insurance, and your PMI.
Yep.
Wowzers. Okay. People who are renting, just about.
Sal will take your offer right over there on that side.
We'll write it up right now.
No, but I mean, I just think that that listeners should know for under $1,000, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in decent condition. Like the windows are there, etc. Generally speaking, we don't have to rebuild the thing.
Right.
But for under $1,000, because the area that particular home is located in has a lot of rental.
With tax season coming up, and you could use your refund to buy a brand new house almost.
Yeah, exactly. For under $5,000, you could probably get in.
Yes.
Nice.
Or if you're not getting much money back from Uncle Sam, just use a CHDAP silent second, as long as you meet the income guidelines, which are pretty doggone generous, and you can probably come in with as little as about $1,500.
And I just put it in those terms because I know there are folks out there who either are renting an apartment for about the same amount, or who are considering investment properties. And so we just want to throw some numbers out. Thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to help.
Thank you.
Hey, anytime. I appreciate it. I'll be nosy and
it's all about
down.
clarity. You keep being nosy, and we'll help with the clarity part.
There, because I'm surprised it's still available, honestly.
There you go. Well, this particular HUD home is eligible for owner occupants only. Bidding deadline is daily at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is eligible, as we mentioned, for FHA financing, does qualify for 203K financing, and you could save yourself, if you're a buyer, or your buyer, if you're an agent, the cost of an appraisal report, which is already completed, roughly a value of about $450. If you'd like more information about today's hot property, please give us a call anytime at 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Or use press for keywords
KMJ Hot Property.
And we'll send you more information about this hot property right to your phone. Look for more hot properties each week right here on the Real Estate Radio Network. Let's take a look at some of those top stories in the news. Well, currently, we're still bouncing along the bottom here at 1,125 active listings in Fresno County. That
is shocking to me.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling people, put your house on the market if you're all considering. Now's a great time. It will move, and people aren't listening.
And it surprises me there's that many active listings because I mean, from my experience, it's we're writing offers and there's multiple offers on every property, and it's a competition to get into a house right now. It
is, and you know what? I think though that I think when we're looking at our systems, we feel like there's a lot more houses out there because so many are in backup status. Correctly or incorrectly?
Well, yeah, that's
in backup status. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, backup status means that
you're still accepting offers.
I was just going to say it means.
But if you're not, please change it to pending out there.
Michelle, backup.
Sure, make my life easier. Sorry, I love you, agents, but please, God help me.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, 2013 is going to be an interesting year, depending upon what we see as far as inventory is concerned. What we see is, this market is on a very fragile. It really is in a fragile existence, because if we see inventory levels get much lower, we get into the springtime and everybody comes out from under their rock and things tend to start getting busy and extremely competitive.
What's now?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's busy now. It's busy now. And the buying season is at its,
It hasn't stopped.
No, it hasn't.
Never slowed down. It might be slowing down on closings because of lackadaisical efforts or just time-consuming processes, but I don't see it slowing down.
Yeah, I don't either. And it makes me a little scared for what March will bring.
Well, hopefully these boys will put these purple shirts on, and it'll be a very beautiful, flower-colored month.
Well, people will be happy when they come to look at the house.
That's right, because you have your purple shirt on.
Happy
I can't help it, boys. It's just so cute.
Yeah, there you go. Good deal. Well, did you know that there is good news about real estate? Home equity is growing again after hitting a low of $6.45 trillion. I know that sounds like it's a lot, but $6.45 trillion in the final quarter of 2011, that Americans' combined home equity jumped approximately 20% during the next 9 months to $7.71 trillion. Now, taking into consideration about 1 in every 10 homeowner is considered to be upside down nationally. Right. That's a lot of...
That's all. And these are national averages,
yes.
Correct? Okay. So I'm still going to caution folks out there that they need to run the numbers with someone, CPA, someone, as far as whether they can see light at the end of the tunnel on whether their equity is going to go up to the place it was at one time.
And you'll be happy to know this was not a government entity that
about dang time you listen to the real world.
Yeah, exactly. It was from the LA Times. A homeowner's equity is the difference between the current market value of his or her home and the amount of mortgage debt that their home is currently carrying. If your real estate would sell for $400,000 and you have a mortgage balance of $200,000, your equity would be $200,000. Thank you.
Addition, subtraction.
Yes. Hey,
these are great
simple
times for math classes to follow real estate. That's all I got to say. But you know what? One of the interesting pieces of the article that I thought, even if you have negative equity, you're pushing up in that equity position. So that's where running those numbers before making a hasty decision or not making a decision is really important.
Because not making a decision is still making a decision.
Exactly. So do some research. And I found it also interesting in that particular article that we were talking about and reading through was what emphasis went on equity and how that makes Americans feel wealthy or not.
Yep.
If they have equity in their house, the mental state of our country is stronger.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I anticipate that's why the government is playing with our numbers periodically and trying to move them up as quickly as possible. Ben hasn't called, but I'm pretty sure he's going to pretty soon.
You are not insinuating anything.
No,
right?
never.
Yeah.
Never.
I'm sure. Well, did you know that the housing market or the housing recovery is going to be a sweet spot for our economy as we rebound or continue our rebound into 2013, while U.S. home sales and prices are poised to rise in 2013, solidifying a recovery that began last year after a half-decade slump. A decade sounds like a long time.
It does.
Yeah, after a half-decade slump that was the deepest since the Great Depression. We've seen in Fresno County, September 1st through November 15th last year, 2011, versus same time this year, we've seen roughly a 10% increase in average sales prices. When's it all going to stop?
It's not. I told you, Ben will call us.
It's going to keep going up.
Ben will call us and say, we're leveled. And I haven't gotten the call, neither have you. But you know what they said, though, is residential investments are going to grow, or they anticipate growing between 20 and 30% in 2013. I find that to be that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
When you start thinking how much the bank pays you as an investor, to keep your money there, and then you're looking what you're going to make on a rental, you're 8 to 15% return on investment compared to the 1 point something the bank pays you.
They're saying that
investors are coming out.
Yeah. They said it will actually up our GDP almost 1%.
And that's huge.
That is huge.
And that's because real estate is plays such an important part of our gross domestic product. Mm-hmm. Sure does. Well, did you know that owning a home is still the American dream?
I believe that.
Yeah.
No, I do. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Despite the effects of the Great Recession, people still love their homes, and they think that they are still a good investment.
I agree. 100%.
And that really is encouraging, because after having been through what everyone has been through over the last 5 years, to think that there's still a positive aura that shines upon, that last.
If nothing else, what I think it did these last 5 years is actually shook families and shook that stability
and forced them to focus on the fact.
Forced them to focus on the fact, hey, what did this? Oh, wait, losing my house did this. Or going upside down on my house has done this.
And after all, brought into focus just exactly how much that it meant to you. Well, 81% of adults surveyed believe that buying a home is still the best long-term investment a person can make. 80% of adults surveyed see homeownership as a very important long-term financial goal. 81% of renters would like to own a home in the future, and 54% of first-time homebuyers bought because they were tired of renting. 96%, lastly, 96% of homeowners are happy with their decision to own. That's almost a unanimous decision right there.
Well, and those 54% that finally bought, those first-time homebuyers, they're happy to be paying their own mortgage and building their own wealth versus paying the landlord.
And how many times do you hear that?
Wealth.
Yeah, exactly. How many times do you hear that?
Because they do. In essence, they're giving that money to somebody else every month. This at least is going towards something for themselves.
Well, if you own a home and you are potentially looking at refinancing, whether you're upside down or not, did you know that homeowners who haven't recently looked into the probability of refinancing, that paying higher interest rates is something that at some point will be on the horizon before you know it.
That's true. And so if you haven't looked to run the numbers, oh my goodness, what did we just say on that HUD home? 4 1/4?
3 1/4. FHA financing.
3 1/4. Okay.
With an APR of
It's
about
only been 5 years since it was 7 and 8%.
Yeah, borrowers should take advantage of today's record low mortgage rates while they last. And I mean while they last.
Absolutely.
Yeah. With mortgage rates near the bottom and prices still on the rise, this might give some folks that originally thought they didn't have equity the opportunity to refinance, because now they do.
Well, and so many can get a 15-year mortgage for what a 30 was.
Yep.
And that's huge. If you think about owning a home and paying it off in the next 15 years, where are you going to be in 15 years from now?
Yeah.
I'm hoping to retire in 15 years. I'm not retirement age, let's make that clear, but I would love to retire in 15 years.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, because,
Granny.
I know I only look 21, but...
Did you hear that, Granny?
I'll be looking 36 then.
Oh, there you go. 36, the new 21.
That's right. Amen, Busta.
Well, again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Sal, Michelle, and myself share with you on our show, it's all starts with one phone call. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. We'd love to hear from you. You can also check out our resources online. Go to our website. You can listen to past shows from the Real Estate Radio Network. You can also search for your new home at Fresnohomes.com. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valley White on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley White.
To call into the show anytime. Well, coming up, we're going to talk with HUD Home local listing broker expert Sal Hernandez. And take a look at what exactly is a home, who can buy a HUD home, and why would you want to buy a HUD home here in the Central Valley. Make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping to redefine real estate on 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Mortgage interest rates are at historic lows, and there's never been a more affordable time to buy real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let the mortgage professionals at Valley White help. Valley White Homes has been helping homeowners with their mortgage needs since 1997. When it comes to the Valley's real estate, we know our way around the neighborhood. Call toll-free, 800-979-3958, and put the seasoned professionals at Valley White Homes to work for you. Valley White Homes, NMLS number 342062, 235-952, California Department of Real Estate License 01228464. 888-401-5660. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Did you know that all the tickets you can buy on different websites come from the same place? Did you know that you can buy every ticket you need to any event in the country, the whole country, from Pete's Seats right here in Fresno? If that's the case, you need to call Pete's Seats. Any ticket, anytime. Sports, concerts, theater. Hey, there's seats, and then there's Pete's Seats. Premium tickets for all events, local, national, worldwide. Don't settle for a regular seat when you can get a really good Pete's Seat. Online at Pete'sSeats.net or simply 294-SEAT. That's 294-7328.
How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097, and take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, we mentioned before the break that we have Sal Hernandez from Valleywide Homes. The guru
Hello. In a purple shirt.
The guru and in a purple shirt. Just had to throw that in.
I do. It makes him smile.
Yeah, there you go. It makes it much cheery here in the studio this morning.
Because I could sing Barney, but I'm trying not to.
Wow. Just keeping you away from the edge like always, aren't we?
Always.
Well, Sal Hernandez from Valleywide Homes, who is also a local listing broker with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, as well as BLB Resources in Irvine. Sal, you sell HUD homes, I hear.
Yes, I do.
Attaboy. So help our listeners understand exactly what is a HUD home.
Well, first off, a HUD home, it's a great opportunity for home buyers. Gives them the chance to get into a house. In a nutshell, HUD home is a home that has been originally foreclosed on a federally insured loan. So that's how it becomes a government home. And one of the main key factors of these homes are to give home buyers the opportunity that are using FHA financing the priority in purchasing these homes. So again, when you ask what's a HUD home, it comes back to great opportunity for home buyers to not compete against investors.
So home buyers meaning folks that want to buy either their first home or a home to occupy.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
That's correct. Yes, and so overall, if you look at the actual details of a HUD home, it is, again, the way it comes about is when somebody finances a HUD home or any home using FHA financing.
Gotcha.
Okay, you do a 3.5% down payment, and it's federally insured loan. If you ever default on that loan, if you can't make your payments and it forecloses, it comes back and the government guarantees the bank that they will reimburse them for the loss, in essence.
So Bank of America, let's say, made that FHA government-insured loan to Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And unfortunately, Mr. Smith lost his job. The Bank of America forecloses on that home. Bank of America takes the property back and then files an insurance claim with HUD, and then HUD makes them whole, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, HUD makes them whole, and then after that, they end up marketing the house. They enlist M&M Company, which is for BLB. BLB, it's an asset manager that handles the assets for HUD. For HUD,
gotcha.
Currently in
managing the loss for HUD.
Yes, currently in our area, there's two management companies, which is BLB and PEMCO. Valleywide Homes, we work for BLB.
Gotcha.
And we market market their properties. Once the properties come out on the market, they're specifically targeted for owner-occupants.
Gotcha.
And that's why I say it's a great opportunity for homeowners, somebody that wants to live in the house. They have priority over investors, and it gives them the opportunity not to have to compete against cash buyers.
Well, because the goal of this, right, is to put people in homes, to reside in the homes, to make them not renters but homeowners over time. So that's the goal of HUD. That's the goal of FHA, is to have home dwellers, not investors.
Yes,
own these properties.
And to touch real quickly, you had talked about owner occupants are given precedence. So explain in a little greater detail as far as for what period of time do owner occupants get so they don't have to compete with investors?
There's a couple different scenarios. When a house is marketed in a condition where it's going to qualify again for FHA financing, they are marketed with a 30-day period. Okay.
So for 30
Within
days,
those 30
you don't have to compete with an investor.
You don't compete against investors.
Wow.
So those are move-in ready.
They
generally
if
ready.
you use FHA financing, if there's repairs that need to be done on the property, you can finance some of those repairs into your loan.
Because again, FHA wants you to reside in these homes.
Yes, it creates. They want the the home ownership. It's we were saying it's the American dream. People still want to own homes, and with the market being the way it is, there's a lot of investors out there, and it keeps those investors out and gives the homeowner the opportunity to get in there.
Let's be honest. In some of the other institutions, some of the other entities out there selling homes, you don't get a chance. I mean, I'm a showing agent. You don't get a chance if the investors have the option.
It's war,
it's gone.
And everybody competes.
It's war.
It is war.
So this takes that piece out of it.
You take the hot property that was listed for $115,000, built 2008.
It'd be gone already if it was available to investors.
Personally, I had about eight or nine calls from investors wanting to do cash over that price.
Right.
And so, I mean, when you start looking at that, and you have the home buyer that's getting their down payment together, they're going to finance it. They don't have the cash. They wouldn't have that opportunity to own a home if HUD wasn't there to allow them to get into those homes.
And I mean, really, we're rebuilding neighborhoods with these homes.
Sure.
Yes.
And not that we have anything against our investor friends, because there's tons of investors that have really helped to keep this market moving and to fill a void.
Correct.
And in a great way for them, their return on their investment is the best that it has been at any point in time, and probably in the foreseeable past.
Sure. But this gives a selection of homes that are only available to home buyers, and it keeps the investors playing in the other fields.
It keeps the investors out, and they're still there.
Sure.
They wait patiently. If a property for some reason does not sell within the time frame allowed for owner occupants, investors are usually there on that 31st day, and they're picking up the homes at the listing price or more.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about the one we had today. It was a hot property, $115,000. I know it's the second week we've had it on our hot property list, because it is actually a great investment. $115,000, that's a very doable. How long until an investor can jump on board?
On that property, it'll be 30 days from the listing date.
Okay.
List date.
So y'all heard that. Anybody looking for a house, that house is only going to be available because one of these investors most likely will pick it up.
One of the things I'm dealing with HUD homes, or with any other home, you have to be ready.
Right.
You have to be ready to go. When I mean ready to go, you have to have your financing lined up.
So let's touch on that in detail. So how do you start? Where do you start as far as a buyer is concerned, making sure, and we joke because we say most buyers, where they start. They start at the magazine rack at the local Save Mart.
They start in front of the house.
I get that call almost every day. I get a home buyer. He's like, I want to go see this house. Let's go look at the house. My first question to him, are you pre-qualified?
Right. What's your name and are you pre-qualified?
Are you pre-qualified for a loan? Everybody wants to go look at the house. And in the meantime, right now, a lot of these homes, for instance, the hot property, it's now on a daily bidding. So meaning, first, the schedule for a HUD property is first 30 days it's listed on the market, it's only for owner occupants. Within those 30 days, the first 10 days on the market, It gives owner occupants the opportunity to view the home, take a look at it, and
get their
paperwork in order. And once the 11th day comes on the market, if nobody bid on it, or if an acceptable bid, which is usually full price, or with 3% closing costs, was not received by the asset management company, then it goes on a daily bidding schedule.
Okay.
So, for instance, you get a buyer, calls me, says, hey, I want to go look at the property. Let's go look at it. They're not pre-approved. They fall in love with the property. It's what they want. It's their dream home. It takes them 2 days, 4 days to get pre-approved because they have to get all their paperwork in order. More than likely that home is gone.
Gotcha.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons, first step in the buying process, get pre-qualified.
Well, and let's say, don't call to see the property until you get that, or call the agent and ask them how to get there.
Yes, give us a
every
call.
Agent out there has someone they work with who can get you to somebody to help you.
On HUD Homes, we will give you 3 to 5 lenders that you can contact. We can't recommend any specific lender.
But Craig and I, our office does do that.
Yes.
I'm just going to say, let's put it out there. If you're not sure where to wander to,
That's
please wander to
called
us.
a shameful plug.
Hey, I got to do what I got to do.
And one of the things, though, about HUD
'cause you know no
Homes
shame.
is
I have no shame.
you have to use a lender that's familiar with the loan process.
And the
How
and the
critical
requirement of FHA.
That is extremely critical. HUD Homes, another opportunity they give buyers is we mentioned small repairs, carpet. If a carpet's missing, they allow you to finance that. They allow you to finance up to $5,000 in repairs on a standard FHA loan. Okay, what this means for the buyer is if you go with a lender that is not familiar with the HUD process, you're going to have a nightmare. And
you're going to slit your wrists.
More than likely, your deal is going to fall apart. And I get calls from buyers that are already pre-approved, and that we go with their lender, and I do tell them this is a warning. If I know that lender has not done a HUD loan, I do let them know. Look, this lender, we might run into issues, and usually we do end up running into issues where they can't close on an escrow.
So I don't know if we need to do this after a break, but I'd love to know how a consumer can figure out who to go to in these environments. When they're talking to a lender, how do they know what questions to ask on these types of... Because you're asking somebody who knows nothing about the process to go to a lender who knows about the process. How do they know who to go to?
Well, when we get back from our break, we're going to touch on that and help Sal, or Sal's going to give us some tips on what to look for when it comes time for securing FHA financing on a HUD home. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that you hear on our show, it all starts with one call. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. We'd love to hear from you. Again, that's 800-979-3958. Or check out our resources online. Go to our website, shop for your new home. Take a look at our listings, REOFresnoHomes.com. To friend us on Facebook, use press 4 keywords.
KMJ.
Actually, that's Friend Valley White on Facebook.
Sorry.
Yes, there we go. Or use press 4 keywords. KMJ, call Valley Wide to call into the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. Well, as we you're not fireable, just so you know.
Okay.
When we return, we're going to take a look at what is the best type of financing that you can use with a HUD home, and Sal's going to give you some tips on really how to structure that winning bid. Make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping to redefine real estate here on 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
All it takes is one call to the professionals at Valley White Homes, and you'll start building wealth in real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing investment property, let the experts at Valley White Homes help. There's never been a better time to get into the real estate market. Visit our website at REOFresnoHomes.com or call toll-free 800-979-3958. That's 800-979-3958. And put the seasoned professionals of Valley White Homes to work for you. Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords, Arise Solar.
Did you know that all the tickets you can buy on different websites come from the same place? Did you know that you can buy every ticket you need to any event in the country? The whole country. From Pete's Seats right here in Fresno. If that's the case, you need to call Pete's Seats. Any ticket, anytime. Sports, concerts, theater. Hey, there's seats, and then there's Pete's Seats. Premium tickets for all events. Local, national, worldwide. Don't settle for a regular seat when you can get a really good Pete's Seat. Online at petesseats.net or simply 294-SEAT. That's 294-7328.
How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097, and take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
We're going to continue our conversation with Sal Hernandez from Valleywide Homes, who is also a representative, or how should we call this, a local listing broker and a representative of BLB Resources out of Southern California, whose primary responsibility is the marketing and management of HUD homes. Now, Sal, quick question. Okay. So once your buyer has gotten pre-approved, what's the next thing that they should do once they've got pre-approved?
Well, once they got pre-approved, if they're buying a HUD home, which we hope they are, is quiz your lender, ask questions. Have they done HUD home deals before?
And how important?
Have they financed them?
How important? You touch on something real quick there, if I can interject. How important is it to, number one, your representative that is your agent that is representing you to be familiar with the process as well as the lender?
Yes.
How do you find out? How do you make sure that they're both above board and that they're both familiar?
The agent you're dealing with, you always want to deal with an agent that's familiar with all aspects of the real estate market out there, being HUD homes, REO properties, flips, whatever it may be. You want to deal with your agent. Your agent's going to give you the recommendations, what to ask, and he or she can also help you asking those questions.
Gotcha.
Once you get pre-qualified, it's very important whichever purchase you go with. If you end up purchasing a HUD home or you end up purchasing a flip, that your agent's involved in the process and that the lender is also familiar with that purchasing process.
You just don't want to end up being either, whether it's an agent or a lender's quote-unquote first time going through one of these.
This is a very important step in someone's life. You're buying it. It's not a small purchase. This is an investment that's, your first home, and it's something that really go through the entire process. And every loan out there is going to have an expert. If you're doing a rehab loan, if you're doing a flip, if you're doing a HUD home, there's going to be experts in certain areas.
Right.
And that's something that you, with your realtor, and you want to ask the questions once you get into that home. If you get a HUD home offer accepted, you want to make sure you're dealing with an agent, a loan officer that is familiar with the process. And one of the best things is just, ask them, how many HUD deals have you closed? Have you been through the process? Because you don't want to find out, you're 45 days into the escrow, right, and you get accepted. They say, oh, yeah, everything's fine and dandy. And on day 45 days before you close, they're asking for a termite report that should have been done at the beginning. And that can make your deal fall apart.
Sure.
And it's a waste of time between, all that time you have invested for nothing. And there's also money that you can lose in a standpoint of your home inspections that you've paid for.
Right.
good faith deposits or even extensions if you have to pay an extension fee to keep going in the process. If your agent or your loan officer aren't familiar with the type of structure for that loan, you're going to have issues.
So being that you're familiar with the process, if you're representing me and I'm a buyer, the first thing that I'm going to ask you is to make sure to talk. I'm going to have you call my lender and make sure to ask my lender all the appropriate and necessary questions to make sure that they're familiar with the process.
Yes. As an agent, when I'm representing my buyers, ultimately, that's the first place we start. Once we have an offer accepted, we ask the lender. Usually I'm familiar with how many deals they've closed. We represent a large number of homes in the valley. But when we start talking numbers, there's 197 homes that sold last year that were HUD homes in Fresno and Madera counties. We represented about 39% of those sales.
So pretty big number.
So that's a pretty big number. We know what we're doing, and we're familiar with different lenders. And that's one of the things that as an agent, you use an agent that's familiar with the process, and that agent will help guide and ask questions to the lender, make sure everything's running smoothly. If the lender isn't familiar with the HUD process, it doesn't mean they cannot do the loan. That just takes the agent stepping up and walking the lender through the process and saying, okay, have you guys requested this? Here's a termite report. Here's this. Here's that. So, every lender out there can do the loan. It's just educating them on the process of it. And as long as your agent is aware of everything, he can help assist so that your lender has a smooth transaction.
Right. So while we're on the topic, is when you say lender, what is the best type of financing that works with an FHA or a HUD home, excuse me?
The best type of financing for a HUD home is FHA financing. You'd be surprised. There's some of these houses that, because of they're designed for homeowners. HUD has, said, hey, this house is put out on the market so that homeowners have the opportunity. FHA financing is the primary source for a lot of homeowners, and so they make it easy in the process with the escrow accounts. An escrow account is, again, they allow you to finance certain repairs. Let's say the plumbing, there's a plumbing issue. FHA financing has, $1,000 to repair plumbing, and they're going to allow you to do this loan. A conventional loan will not allow you to close if there's a plumbing issue.
Gotcha.
Okay, so when you might think, hey, I'm putting 20% down, I'm going to go conventional, it should be a lot easier. On HUD homes, sometimes you'll find that just the opposite. It's easier to use FHA financing. And that's what, a lot of homeowners have they've been pre-approved for.
Well, the previous financing that was on these homes was FHA financing in the first place.
Yes,
so it would make sense.
Yeah, and it's FHA financing. It allows opportunity for home ownership.
So,
honestly, if you're planning to go conventional and you end up going to FHA, you can still put that 20% down. Let's make that clear. You don't have to go in with no money.
You know what? That is true. I wrote up an offer the other day for a client that's putting 30% down and using FHA financing.
Right.
And they're opting to go FHA financing because it's a lot easier to do the FHA than the conventional on that particular property.
Right.
And an FHA product also offers, there's additional benefits to an FHA loan that give you, in case you ever run into any issues down the road, there's some securities in there built in on the FHA loan that allow you to modify or extend or work around your payments.
So you mentioned the repair escrow. Let's touch on that real quick. So the repair escrow is those, and we had talked about this before the show, is that every HUD home is appraised prior to the property coming on the market, and it's appraised with an FHA appraisal, which could save the buyer roughly about $450 as far as cost is concerned. So let's say the appraiser lists that there are, you had mentioned plumbing repairs. So let's say there's a plumbing repair and there's another repair that need to be done, and the total cost of the repairs is $2,000. Now, you had mentioned that this FHA repair escrow gives the buyer the ability to be able to finance the cost of those FHA required repairs on top of their loan.
Yes, that is correct. That allows them and gives them the opportunity to finance those repairs. When you start looking at HUD homes, it gives the owner-occupants that opportunity. A lot of these homes on the market sometimes, because they are foreclosure homes, sometimes there's repairs. As for instance, this $2,000 repair here, plumbing repairs, whatever it may be. And a typical sale, it would take that opportunity from an owner-occupant being able to buy that house with FHA financing.
Gotcha.
So if it's owned by XYZ Bank and it needs these repairs, you go in there, you make an FHA offer, more than likely it's not going to even get accepted because the bank is not going to do the repairs and they know you cannot finance that house with those repairs. On a HUD home, it gives the opportunity for the home buyers, owner-occupants to be able to buy these homes and be able to finance small repairs into their loan. And, what an investor would have picked up, now it gives them the opportunity to be able to buy that home and still, the way the market's going right now, sometimes even have equity already in these homes.
Right. Now, in every real estate transaction, we recommend to a buyer that during their inspection period that they do a home inspection. How important is it in this particular instance with HUD homes, and do buyers get the opportunity to do inspections, and what are those inspection time periods up front with a HUD home?
With HUD homes, they have 15 days to do any inspection on a property.
Any inspection they want.
Any inspection they want. They can do any inspection, provided once you're in contract, you have to request authorization to turn on the plumbing, the water, and the PG&E.
Gotcha.
Once you get that authorization to turn it on, then you can have any inspection you want done on the property. If for any reason there's something you find that's abnormal, that it's too expensive for you to fix, you cannot finance that into your escrow account, you can back out. HUD homes, they strive for home ownership. And so one of the things is everything is to protect the home buyer.
Gotcha.
That's one of the major advantages of buying a HUD home. Your good faith deposit, that's protected until you close. If for any reason you can't close because there's some repair issues that you need to back out of, you get your money back. If there's some loan issues that came up during the process and you're going to need to pull out of the transaction, you get your money back. Again, HUD homes are designed to protect the buyer.
Super, super. Well, again, if you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions or questions regarding the information that Michelle or myself share with you here on the show, give us a call anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. You can also check out our resources online. Go to our website. Search for your new home, Michelle, at REO, FresnoHomes.com. To friend us on Facebook, use press 4 keywords.
Friend Valley-Wide on Facebook.
To call into the show, use press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley-Wide.
To call Michelle anytime. Coming up after the break, we're going to give you some tips. Actually, Sal's going to give you some tips on just how you want to structure an offer on your next HUD home here in today's competitive housing market. Make sure you stay with us. You are listening to the Real Estate Radio Network, helping to redefine real estate here on 105.9, the FM KMJ.
This program is brought to you by the Real Estate Radio Network. Visit realestateradio.us for more info. That's realestateradio.us.
Mortgage interest rates are at historic lows, and there's never been a more affordable time to buy real estate. Whether you're looking for your first home, moving up, or your next income-producing property, let the mortgage professionals at Valley-Wide help. Valley-Wide Homes has been helping homeowners with their mortgage needs since 1997. When it comes to the Valley's real estate, we know our way around the neighborhood. Call toll-free, 800-979-3958, and put the seasoned professionals at Valley-Wide Homes to work for you. Valley-Wide Homes, NMLS number 342062, 235-952, California Department of Real Estate License 0122-8460.
Have you ever thought about going solar? It's never been easier to go solar than with a SunPower lease. You'll start saving money the very first day. Arise Solar has a team of energy consultants ready to help you determine if going solar is right for you. Start taking control of your energy costs. Contact Arise Solar, your local SunPower Elite dealer at 449
449-8989. That's Arise Solar at 449-8989. Or use press 4 keywords Arise Solar.
Did you know that all the tickets you can buy on different websites come from the same place? Did you know that you can buy every ticket you need to any event in the country? The whole country. From Pete's Seats right here in Fresno. If that's the case, you need to call Pete's Seats. Any ticket, anytime. Sports, concerts, theater. Hey, there's seats, and then there's Pete's Seats. Premium tickets for all events. Local, national, worldwide. Don't settle for a regular seat when you can get a really good Pete's Seat. Online at Pete'sSeats.net or simply 294-SEAT. That's 294-7328.
How much should I be saving? When can I retire? What can I do to ensure that my estate will be left in the hands of my family once I'm gone? Is my hard-earned money safe in today's markets?
With all the uncertainty in today's world, all of us at the Island Group know it is our job to provide answers to these questions. Walk with us, the Island Group at UBS Financial Services. Call me, Kate Island, at 559-248-4097. That's 559-248-4097, and take the first step in protecting your financial future.
All rights reserved. UBS Financial Services, Inc. is a subsidiary of UBS AG. Member SIPC.
You're listening to Real Estate Radio Network with local expert Craig Barton. Now, here's Craig.
Well, Michelle, today's hot topic is HUD homes.
I know, and Saul's supposed to teach me how to structure an offer.
Yeah.
Bring it, baby, bring it.
Okay, well, structure an offer.
Hey, Michelle and I walk into a room, and I say to you, my wife, that's Michelle, she wants that HUD home. You better make it happen, mister.
Well, I'm going to say you're talking to the right person then. Because I'm
going to say, honey, just write a check.
Nobody tells my little princess no.
You have to deal with an agent that knows the process. You know, where are you going to save money at? HUD homes are the bottom, you know, they go down a penny. I mean,
you started to say bottom of the barrel, but that's not what you meant. I know.
No,
but you meant affordability-wise.
Affordability-wise, it's a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. And when you're structuring these deals, it's a competitive market out there right now. Mm-hmm. On a HUD home, you can lose a deal for $1.
Okay, so tell me this. I want concessions, and I want you to pay for all of my inspections.
What are concessions?
You want concessions?
What are concessions?
If you want
concessions is I want him to pay some of the fees so my hubby doesn't have to.
You know, that's not a problem. What I'll say at that point is we're going to use a CHDAP loan, okay, to be able to help you with that 3%.
Because you're why would you do that, though?
Because the bottom line is, if you're offering $100,000 on a home and you ask for $3,000 back, okay, in concessions,
that comes off the seller's bottom line.
That comes off the seller's bottom line, which so their net's going to be $97,000.
So we're just going to borrow that from a different bucket.
Yes,
I gotcha.
Well, because in today's market, I mean, let's face it, whether it's a HUD home, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sal, in today's market, it's all about the net as far as the seller's concerned.
It's with every sale. If you're selling, even your own, if you're selling your car, and somebody offers you $2,000, but they want you to put new tires on it, and somebody else comes along and says, "I'll give you $2,000," who are you going to sell it to?
There you go.
The person that doesn't want me to.
Same exact thing with the properties.
Gotcha.
And
Good
so
point.
when you're asking for concessions, you know, it's going to come off of the seller's funds.
So, like in today's market, structure the most.
Bucket.
Use a different bucket.
Structure it.
Yeah.
Try not to do anything that's going to come from that net out.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in most deals, you know, you're buying a house from XYZ Bank, you know, they don't pay for appraisal. They don't pay for termite inspection. They don't pay for a lot of fees. They're escrow fees. With the HUD home, there's benefits. They pay for the appraisal. They pay for a termite report. They pay for Section 1 repairs.
Yep.
If you're using FHA financing, your escrow's cheaper because they pay a certain portion of it. And they have pre-negotiated rates with the title company. So overall, you might not need as much closing costs as you would on another sale.
So it's a volume situation with them, too. I mean, they've negotiated all this out to make it cheaper for the buyer.
And the buyer wins in the long run.
The buyer wins, and it's easy. So when you're structuring the deal, you have to get with somebody that knows what they're doing on these HUD homes. Okay. Because they'll be able to, you know, but that deal's not going to take that much closing cost as another deal. Because there's some money that's there to be saved that's already paying.
So be aggressive as you possibly can, within reason, because you have to be able to come up with all the cash necessary at the
my main thing is that I tell buyers is if you don't need the closing cost, don't ask for it. Gotcha. If you need there's no other choice. Ask for it. You have to ask for it.
Good tip.
Yeah, so that's one of the things, structuring these deals. Be as aggressive as you can, write them up, and always think about it if you were selling your car. That's what I always tell buyers, and it helps them understand, okay, this is it. If you always use a car scenario or your furniture scenario, somebody wants you to do some stuff to the product, whatever you're selling before you sell it, that's going to come off of your profit. And that's the same thing on these homes.
And let's be honest, we've talked a little bit about it being a seller's market. It's a great buying environment, but it is a seller's market. If you think about it, 1,100 and change in houses total in the county of Fresno.
Yep.
If we only had 1,100 pickup trucks for sale in the county of Fresno, can you imagine the volumes of people looking at those 1,100 pickup trucks?
And with interest rates so low, everybody wants to buy a house.
This is a farming environment. They all need pickup trucks. You get my point there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody needs a house. So can you imagine how many people are out there looking? So your offer has to be competitive because it is a seller's market. They're just looking at the net.
So many buyers think it's a buyer's market, but it is a seller's market. It's a buyer's market in terms of affordability.
Right,
just exactly what you said.
Yeah, and you'll even see investors nowadays where, they're, wow, why didn't I buy houses a year or two ago?
Right.
When, prices were cheaper and there wasn't as much competition. Now even investors are feeling it where they're bidding against each other.
We definitely have already hit bottom. I mean, all of us concur that the bottom has been hit and is moving right back up.
In retrospect,
for our area,
the bottom hit last year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if you can afford, this is a great way to get in your first house.
Exactly. HUD Homes, great opportunity, saves you money, and it gives you that opportunity not to be able to compete against investors. You are competing against other home buyers, owner occupants. So you still have to be aggressive because with interest rates so low, there is lots of home buyers out there.
Nice.
So Sal, if a buyer, an agent, or a lender has questions with regards to HUD Homes, you'd suggest first and foremost that they contact you.
I want them to contact me. They can use any real estate agent of their choice.
They could call me too.
They can call any real estate agent of their choice for HUD properties.
Never mind, call Sal.
But I want them to call me.
Have Sal.
Hey, Sal, they can get a hold of you at 519-3103.
Yes, that's 559-519-3103. Give me a call. If you text, send me a text. I deal with clients that specifically want to text sometimes, and we'll put a deal together by text. May set up appointments and everything, so I don't mind that either.
Boy, have
he's competitive over there.
Yeah. Have
whatever it takes.
Awesome. Well, Sal, thanks so much. Again, if you have any real estate or mortgage related questions or questions regarding the information that we've shared with you on today's show about how to successfully buy a HUD home, it all starts with one call. Call us anytime, 800-979-3958. Again, that's 800-979-3958. We'd so love to hear from you. You can also check out our resources online. Go to our website, REOFresnoHomes.com. You can also search for your next HUD home. To friend us on Facebook, use Press 4 keywords.
Friend Valley White on Facebook.
Or use Press 4 keywords.
KMJ, call Valley White.
To call into the show anytime. We'd love to hear from you. Well, a big thank you to Sal Hernandez, our resident HUD Homes expert. Sal, thanks so much for coming into
having me here.
Yeah, I was going to say coming into the office, but coming into the studio this morning and bringing your office into our studio this morning and helping share all your wisdom regarding HUD Homes and how to structure offers. And I know our listeners appreciate it. Again, you can contact Sal at 559-519-3103. Also, a special thank you to Michelle Pettiscavalli, my crazy sidekick. Thanks for getting up with me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, keep me on track, would you?
I love you.
Yeah, there we go. Don't forget to tune into the Real Estate Radio Network next Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 105.9, the FM KMJ. Make it a great day, Central Valley, and we will see you next week.
The preceding program was paid for by the Real Estate Radio Network.